I do have a note, and I'm curious what you think about this. We were actually about to go live to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's speaking right now in Detroit, Michigan, and apparently she's talking about this port strike ending. She's trying to appeal to union workers, and yet you have the President of the United States come out clearly overshadowing her.
Her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
Apparently, no, they're not.
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet.
Yeah, I know y'all probably still laughing at that. Welcome to the channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure you follow me on all the platforms you see above and below. And if you have been enjoying the content that I put out, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to share. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this like button is how my content can consistently be recommended to you and be pushed out there in the YouTube shadow banning algorithm, all right? If you would like me to react to a clip, react to a song, for those of you that have been a part of my channel for a long time, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Go to patreon.com/Modern Renaissance Man, where I would definitely guarantee to react to a video that you would like me to react to, shout you out in the process. I don't have that many tiers open, and it's a reason why, because I work for real. I know it don't seem like it, y'all, but I work. Like, y'all, yeah. We ain't gonna get into that because y'all already try to come for my licenses. Anyhow, make sure that you double check that you are subscribed to the channel, because people are being unsubscribed to the channel mysteriously. All right, so have to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all, it was for one, were y'all surprised that Joe Biden was there like at the press conference? Like what in the world? Like, we know their secretary, press secretary, where she usually talks from. Joe Biden was there. I don't know if I ever even seen him there. Like, I don't know if I really ever seen him there. Well, he was there, right? And I guess it caused some mishaps with some things because the light, camera, action, all the stuff was supposed to be on Kamala Harris, being over there in Michigan trying to persuade the folks to vote for her, you know, thanking the union members. Thanking, you better thank a union member that they decided not to strike anymore. You better thank a union. Yeah, while she's doing all that, everybody just kind of, oh, wait a minute, Biden is talking. Yeah, now let's see if the CNN and CBS and ABCs and 123s and all that, let's see if they come out and say, that was so wrong of President Biden to come out and do what he did. It overshadowed Kamala Harris while he mansplained. Let's see if they're going to do something like that. No, but that's exactly what happened. And here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Answering significant questions. Is that a communications mistake? Is the left hand not talking to the right hand in this situation?
That's a very good point. And if they were coordinated, as you assume they would be, this would not have happened.
There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days, with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of
the significance of time,
legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
So as you can see, they're trying to do, not necessarily they, but she is trying to do everything she can to try to win people over. She's being black, she's being Hispanic, she's being white, she's being Indian. Now she wants to go up there and try to go to Michigan, which is a key state that she needs to get. And she wants to try to sit up there and really bring it home with the union members, how we were able to strike up a deal and keep the country. And it's not working. It's not working at all, because people are not buying, because people are still feeling right now the country is not doing as good as they would want it to be doing, which we all know that. Don't forget, y'all, about the baby formula, the Afghan stuff, the border, the migrant crisis, the illegal immigrants, the fentanyl and all that. We are not doing good. We are just not. And the numbers are showing it.
Over expectations. Unemployment low at 4.1%, dropping seems to say the economy is in a good place. One of the numbers, Harry Etten, senior data reporter Harry Etten is here. One of the numbers we always talk about in elections is, do voters think the country is on the right track or the wrong track? What do the polls show?
Yeah, if we look at whether voters believe we're on the right track or the wrong track, I think that this sort of gets at a problem for Kamala Harris's campaign. Just 28% of Americans think the U.S. is on the right track. And I want you to put that into perspective, right? When does the average, when the incumbent party loses the election, look at that. It's just 25%. That looks a heck of a lot like that 28%, right, that currently think the country is on the right track. When the White House party wins, i.e. Kamala Harris's party, the Democrats, 42% on average think that the country is on the right track. This 25% looks a lot more like this 28%. It doesn't look anything like this 42%. This, to me, is a bad sign for Kamala Harris's campaign. The bottom line is, it looks a lot more like a loser than it does like a winner when it comes to the country being on the right track.
Can an incumbent party win with numbers like this?
Yeah, so if we look historically speaking, right, and we say, okay, say the U.S. is on the right track, the incumbent party, when they win. Today, again, it's just 28%. Look throughout history, right? 96, 88, 04, 12, 84. In all these instances, far more than 28% thought that the country was on the right track. 39 was the lowest back in 1996. We got upwards of 47% in 84. Of course, that was a blowout, right, for Ronald Reagan. So there is no historical precedent for the White House party winning another term in the White House when just 28% of the country thinks that we're on the right track. John, simply put, it would be historically unprecedented.
So you see all that and you get to thinking like, yeah, this is going to be good. We're going to be on the track to definitely taking this thing when it, in regards to it leaning towards Trump, and Trump's going to win. We hope he does. But at the same time, I'm just being realistic. What happened the last time, folks? I'm just telling y'all right now, them 4 years were long, but now that you hear, you like, man, we here already. And I'm telling you right now, you cannot go in there with this mindset of thinking that just because we see all the parades, you see all the rallying, you see all the numbers, you see all the stadiums being filled, that we just going to take this thing in a landslide. Remember the whole red wave that was supposed to happen? Well, what happened? I'm just saying, I know I'm showing y'all these things just to kind of give y'all some, just to give you some type of incentive on these numbers, but at the same time, I just don't trust none of it. I don't care if it's the elected poll. I don't care if it was this poll, that poll, the Harvard poll, Princeton poll. I don't care which poll it is. I'm still going to sit here and say, I don't care what the polls say. We are going to make the determination when we turn out for voting, plain and simple. Now, also, we can take a little turn here. It's interesting how Miss Cheney came to the game trying to get behind Kamala Harris and supporting her. And guys, it's so funny how people just flip-flop on things. I mean, they flip-flop, and what makes it really great now is this. We have what I'm talking to you guys through right now. We have cameras. We have phones. By the way, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. But we have phones. And what I mean that for is this. Things can be recorded. So 1 minute you're saying this, then you'll come back and say, I never said that, but then we got receipts.
Harris will be able to unite this nation. I know that she will be a president who will defend the rule of law. So help us right the ship of our democracy.
In one fell swoop here, he has put somebody on the ticket whose voting record in the Senate is to the left of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So I think that, the American people are going to look at the substance of this. They're going to look at what she stood for in the past. They're going to look at what she said during the primary election. And it's very clear. She is a radical liberal. She's somebody that has said we ought to spend $32 trillion on Medicare for all. If you look at her record as well in California, she did, in fact, essentially ban gun sales with executive action. And she threatened during the primaries to do the same thing if she's elected. If she were elected here. So I do think the American people are going to take a look at this record and realize she is very much a radical liberal.
To an August 2020 tweet that Cheney had previously posted that read, quote, Kamala Harris has a more liberal voting record than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Her radical leftist views, raising taxes, banning gun sales, taxpayer money for abortion and illegal immigrant health care, it goes on to say would be devastating for America. So this is.
I just fundamentally disagree that we won't have a democracy. I think this country is stronger than any individual politician in either party And so I believe deeply that the policy differences matter. So did Liz Cheney at one point. She used to call Kamala Harris a radical liberal who would raise taxes, take away guns and health insurance, and explode the size and power of the federal government. Now, this means something to a lot of people. And so, like, I don't begrudge her viewpoints, and obviously she strongly dislikes Donald Trump and what he represents. But there are a heck of a lot of people in this country who thought they were getting something out of Biden and Harris that they did not get. And there's a lot of Republicans and conservatives who probably may have some proclivities that Cheney has about what Trump did on January the 6th, but are mortified at the policy outcomes of Biden and Harris. They were not moderates. They were radical liberals, just like Cheney predicted they would be. I think politics has a couple of purposes: win elections and govern. And the way Harris has governed the last 3.5 years, I cannot abide.
And it's just damn near, you know what, Liz Cheney, how you going to come out 1 minute and you say all these crazy things about Kamala Harris being a radical leftist, being this, she going to take away the gun. Next thing you know, you're going to turn around and say things like she loves the country, and then saying she's about the rule of law? What?
And the other side of Lake Michigan, really, something that might have been unheard of a few years ago happening in Wisconsin. Cheney and a Democrat rallying together. Former Congresswoman Liz Cheney introducing Vice President Harris at the rally earlier tonight, as well as her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, who of course endorsed Harris for president. And Liz Cheney talked about why today.
I know that she loves our country, and I know that she will be a president for all Americans. As a conservative, as a patriot, as a mother, as someone who reveres our Constitution, I am honored to join her in this urgent cause.
Where there are so many powerful forces that have been intent on trying to demean and belittle and make people afraid.
Republicans out there who are sitting on the fence, just do it this one time. Do it this one time. Vote for the Democrat to save the country. Listen to Liz Cheney. When everything goes back to normal, then become a Republican again, like Alyssa will become, and probably Anna.
Kamala said the day of a robust two-party system will come back.
Well, but listen, the thing is this. We can have policy differences. You can have policy differences with Kamala. You can have policy differences with Liz Cheney. We are not at a point right now to be talking about policy differences. This is not about economic difference, because we are not running against a normal human being. Right. We are running against Donald Trump, who is an existential threat to humanity and democracy.
Before we just go, I do want to say, I am still a Republican, and I don't believe it's my job to tell people how to vote, but to give them the facts. And I have facts, having worked closely with them, that they just may not know. I feel that's my duty to the country. So I think, and allow the chips to fall where they may. People will decide how they vote, but that's what I'm going to do.
Kamala Harris is out on the campaign trail today with Liz Cheney. Your thoughts on that?
Well, Liz Cheney lost for Congress. She was terrible. Liz Cheney is a stupid war hawk. All she wants to do is shoot missiles at people. I really think it hurts. I think, frankly, if Kamala, I think they hurt each other. I think they're so bad, both of them.
Now, and what really has them ticked off a lot is that there's been this huge shift. And I'm just being honest, even amongst the young, some that might be considered liberal, they know that they are struggling. They know that they're not doing well when it comes to work, when it comes to trying to get freshly out of college, to get their life going, because you have these big dreams. I had those dreams and all that. I'm living it. I'm in it. I'm past it, to where you get out of college, you want to get things going, you start working, you work towards getting that home, getting that car, you see yourself with the family, you see yourself in your nice house and family around, y'all having dinner, the holidays, all these things you start dreaming that you want to have. And these young folks are not feeling it. They feeling like we getting out of here. We are completely under strain. Some of them have to go back and move with their parents. Their dream is being crushed right now under this current administration's inflation and their policies, right? So they're losing it, and they're losing ground amongst young voters, and it's scaring them. But at the same time, who knows? Is that going to still be enough to take Trump over? I don't know. Check this out.
How is Vice President Harris performing with young voters compared to how President Biden did in 2020?
Some numbers, Anderson, to help with that question. Number one, just look at this choice for president. I want to stretch this out a little bit. Excuse me for turning my back. This is a recent New York Times Siena poll. It shows Donald Trump and the vice president tied among voters aged 18 to 29. Joe Biden carried that group by 24 points in 2020 in the exit polls. From being on the ground, remember, when you poll a smaller subgroup in a poll, there's a bigger margin of error. I can't quite believe it's a tie from being on the ground several times in Michigan, but there's no question The vice president is doing better than President Biden was doing earlier this year, when a lot of young voters didn't want him to be the candidate anymore. But she's not doing as well as he did back in 2020. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Talk about these latest numbers that you have from your organization here. Two-way presidential poll, Trump 49%, Harris 48%, not sure 3%. Keep the numbers up here for a moment, if you would, Adam, our talented director, so you can discuss. Are you surprised by these numbers that we're looking at right now?
Actually, I was a little surprised. I thought at this point Harris may have been ahead. And so when that happens, you sort of look through them, and I keep working the numbers, and it is what it is. But more importantly, everybody looks at that two-way, but when everybody goes to the to vote, there's 8 names on that ballot, and in the 8-way ballot test, we've got that dead even at 47% to 47%.
I'm just looking at this right now, and I'm looking at this margin. When they say, when Vance and Trump, the other day, the campaign said they're going to be here every week until Election Day, one of the two, and Kamala Harris is back. I mean, when you look at 49-48, they should just set up shop here, both those camps, right?
Well, they basically have. I mean, they ought to rent apartments somewhere in Detroit area because they have to keep coming back. This is a very pivotal state. It's one of the top 7 states. It is a very close state. They all are. I mean, look at all of the 7 states, and they're within 0.5%, within 1.5%. I mean, this is the closest race in American history.
Now, I'm not going to lie. That right there is kind of concerning, seriously. But at the same time, it can be a moment of education for folks to wake up. There is no way, in my opinion, I've only been in this political world for about 3 years now, right? Learned a lot real quick. I don't understand how Kamala Harris, who nobody wanted, even when she was first trying to run for president, she got like she dropped out because nobody wanted her there. She was completely booted out, like just out. Like the Dems, they didn't even want her. She had no chance. She becomes President Biden's pick because he said, I'm going to get a woman of color, and it's going to be a woman I'm going to pick. He did a DEI hire with Kamala Harris because none of y'all can name anything that this woman has done. Name a time where she actually sat down and when she really spoke so eloquently that it just had you like, this woman, wow. Name a time. I would like to see the clip of it. Name a time where she didn't come making you want to go vegan by all the word salad she's throwing out there. Do something like that. All the word salad she's throwing out there. Let me see if there's something you can just say she said it so eloquently and great that it just I'll wait, but I'm not gonna hold my breath because you probably most likely are not going to find it. You're not gonna find it. So with that being said, the reason why I'm saying this is how can this race be this close? I really don't get it. I honestly thought like, okay, her inexperience has proven it, or yet at the same time, I don't know. Maybe this is not inexperience. Maybe this is purposeful. So we might say, well, oh no, Trump's going to win because when Trump was the president last time, he showed that he can do this, he can do that. Well, Kamala's not showing that she can do those things. Maybe because that's not the plan. That's not what they want to do. They're doing exactly what they wanted to do, especially amongst you Negroes. But that's for another video. Ty, what are you talking about? You being replaced? You are being replaced. Look how you're being treated right now. The blacks community, y'all are already, we downtrodden. Oh, we reparations. Oh man, look, we disenfranchised, redlining. We can't get ahead. Look at our schools. Look at our this. Look at our that. And all because these people gravitated towards blacks just to get your vote. They will actually have you turn against somebody like me who's trying to get y'all to see the light, to come out of that pit and showing y'all that y'all are greatly being deceived. They're dangling the carrot in front of your face and you steady trying to go for it and bite it and you're never going to get it. Now it's even going to be worse because you are being replaced. Do you understand the ramifications of 15-some million migrants, asylum seekers, illegals coming into this country? Trust me when I tell you, if you thought blacks, if you thought that y'all voices weren't being heard, oh boy, it's about to be on the equivalence of being desensitized to anything blacks have to say. Trust me when I tell you, Anyway, folks, let me know what y'all think of everything that y'all seen in this video. Do y'all like the style that I did it in this time? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below after this video, all right? Don't forget, if you would like to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, will be up there. Things that I do on this channel is a variety that you may not know about will be down here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.